quick disclaimer. Normally my videos are in person of me actually on camera. Something went wrong with my video this time, so I'm having to do this almost podcast video layover style. But I promise I will be back in front of the camera for my next video. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Travel Time with Ty. Today's video is a pretty cool video I wanted to do that's actually a continuation from my previous video, which was my Carnival Horizon cruise review. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I'll link it below or possibly try to put it somewhere here on the screen. Today's video, I wanted to give a real in-depth view of how much I actually paid for my cruise. I'm actually going to be looking through all of my receipts, all my data. I actually have it all written down here and tell you exactly how much I actually paid for my cruise. I think for anyone going on their first cruise, I think it's really important to give a cost breakdown, because when you book a cruise, you see your base price, or what they call your cruise fare price, right? And that might be $1,900 for two people, $2,000 for two people. So then if you're trying to budget and put some money to the side, you're like, okay, I'm going to put $1,900 to the side and I'm good to go. But I think there's a few things that you have to remember, such as gratuities, onboard extras, and all of that. So in today's video, I got you. I'm going to take you through step by step how much I paid for my cruise. Let's get into it.
I saw the city passing by my window.
This past October, I had the pleasure of sailing on the Carnival Horizon during their Halloween cruise. It was so fun, so amazing. I 10 out of 10 recommend the Halloween sailing and particularly the Carnival Horizon. But let's get into the pricing of exactly what I paid. So the base fare price for my cruise, and when I say base fare price, that literally means the price you have to pay to get your boarding pass and get your ticket to get on the boat. That was $1,961.06. And I actually traveled with my mom, so my mom and I shared the room. Most of these cruise fares on Carnival or even other cruises are going to be based on a double occupancy. So if you see $1,961, if you're traveling with two people and you're going to be paying separate, you can just split that fare down the middle and you get your price per person. So for my mom and I, that equaled out to $980.53 per person. So, of course, the next step, we left from Miami. We live up in Delaware. So, of course, we needed airfare and a hotel. I always recommend, if you're flying, to fly in the day before, because you never know what happens. And most of the time, the boat won't wait for you. And you wouldn't want to have spent $1,000, like not $1,000, sometimes thousands of dollars, and miss your boat and ruin your whole trip. So, our airfare. So, for our airfare, we actually flew Frontier, and that cost was $356, leaving out of Philadelphia. To be specific, $356.14, and that was our round trip airfare. So that actually wasn't too bad of a price for two tickets round trip from Philadelphia to Miami and Miami to Philadelphia. The hotel we stayed at, actually, I just found out something strange about today about the hotel we stayed at. We stayed at what was called the Radisson. It was actually a pretty beautiful hotel that my cousin found, and it was really good pricing, not too far from the airport and not too far from the cruise terminal. At that time, it was called the Radisson. Now it's called I believe the Compost Boutique Hotel or something like that. But my mom and I had a bunch of Expedia points, so we ended up only spending $71.53 for that one night. Now, this next section that I'm going to get into, and that's why I said it's important to think about these things when you're thinking about how much I'm going to put aside for the cruise. So, on our cruise, you have your base fare, right? I already told you all that price. So now you get into some extras. The first extra I'm going to talk about, which I really don't consider an extra, is your gratuities. With Carnival, you have an option to either prepay your gratuities or pay on board. You do have an option at the end of your trip to go to guest services and ask them to remove the gratuities, because what's going to happen is a day or two before your sailing ends, you're going to see that gratuity charge pop up on your sell and sign account. And you can either pay it or ask for it to be taken off. Now, the reason why I say I see that as less of an optional thing is because your gratuities, what the gratuities go towards is people like, you know, behind the scenes staff, like wait staff and cleaning staff and laundry staff, all the people that you don't interact with on a daily basis. So everyone knows when you're out at the bar, you might be giving extra money to your bartender, or you might tip your room stewardess. But there's a lot of people in the background that you may not necessarily come into contact with that also you know, should be given a little extra for their work. They work super hard on these cruises. I mean, literally as we're getting off the cruise, thousands of people are getting back on, and it's constant for months at a time. So the gratuities, that price was $256 for my mom and I. That was the total cost added on to our cruise fare. Now, these next two things are purely optional. My mom and I, because we knew, first of all, we know my cousins, and we know when we get together, we like to have a little fun in the bar and stuff. So in order to keep up and to save money, we actually for the first time decided to get the Cheers package. Now what the Cheers package is going to do is give you not unlimited drinks, but what it does is it gives you like unlimited bubbly, so like soda, all of that stuff like that. You can even use it for milkshakes, you can use it for specialty coffee, and also of course alcoholic beverages if you're 21 or over. And you actually get 15 drinks per day. So for me, that pretty much felt unlimited because I never hit 15 drinks a day. So the cost for that in total for my mom and I together was $1,118 because they charge you, I think it was like 70 something dollars per day, and we were on an 8-day selling. So that was the total cost, and like I said, that covered any specialty drinks we wanted, waters, Gatorades, milkshakes, anything we wanted, and then of course our alcoholic beverages for that. The actual price was about $900 and something, but they add like a service gratuity charge, so that's why I came up to $1,118. So if the Cheers package is something you're thinking about, I always say, I'm glad I got the Cheers package. I think it was really cool because you know how sometimes you go to a bar and there's a drink you might like, but you're like, I don't really want to spend money on it if I don't like it. Well, with the Cheers package, you don't have to worry about, you know, spending too much money or like spending money on something you don't like, because you get to try new things because it's covered in that price you already paid. But like I said, remember, you do have 15 drinks per day. The average person, I don't think, really hits 15 drinks. Now, the other add-on that my mom and I had was the premium internet. When you get on the Carnival cruise, the only app that's going to work while you're out at sea is your Carnival Cruise Hub app. If you want to get on anything that's www. You want to search social media, you want to get on Google, you want to do anything on the internet, anything at all, you're going to need that Wi-Fi package. Now, if you want to FaceTime, you're most likely going to need that premium Wi-Fi package. So we both got the premium Wi-Fi package, and I believe that was like, I'm forgetting exactly how much it was per person, but I know for two people it came up to $340 for the whole duration, because that's another price where they charge you per day. So we were on an 8-day selling, so it came to $340. So of course, if you're on the shorter selling, and the same with the Cheers package, is going to come down cheaper for you. So overall, in this video, I didn't include things like Ubers or excursions and things like that, because that's so very like specific to person. But when I tell you this total, you know, factor in spending money, an extra $500 for maybe excursions, transportation, all of that. So our grand total with airfare, base cruise rate, gratuities, Cheers package, and internet, when I calculated this, I said, whoo, I didn't even realize it was that much. The grand total was $4,102.73. Now, because my mom and I were splitting the cost, now like if you're going with like a spouse, or if you're a couple, of course it's kind of like you're sharing money, so that would be a grand total. But if you're going with someone where you're actually splitting costs, it came to $2,051 per person. which is not horrible when you think of the fact that we were on an 8-day sailing. We went to, I believe, 4 or 5 different Caribbean islands, including Aruba, the Dominican Republic, and we had essentially unlimited drinks, which, along with most of the food on the cruise being free, it was also like we had an all-inclusive. So $2,051 for airfare, you know, island vacation, and kind of an all-inclusive feel isn't actually too much money. Now, I'm also going to give you the total without the chairs package and without the internet package, because like I said, those two things are super optional. So the total without those two things, the grand total was $2,644. So if you were selling at the time we did on that selling and you didn't get the chairs package or internet package, your grand total would have been $2,644, and then of course you split that by 2 per person. That's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. I also have my Instagram in the description. If you have a more private question that you want to ask, feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'll be, you know, happy to answer your questions. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope that gave you all a good sense of how much a cruise costs, because I know when I was booking the cruise for the first time, you look at that price and it's like boom, bam, bam, done. But then it's like, oh no, airfare. Oh no, transportation. Oh no, hotel. Oh no, you know, so it can add up. So I wanted to give a good sense of what was the true price. So that's why I wanted to get up here and actually be honest and tell you how much I paid. If you have any other video ideas, drop them down below. Anything you want me to talk about, and I'll be happy to. Well, that's it, you guys. Enjoy your day. Peace.